Let's explore the fascinating world of numbers and how they convey deep messages about our inner selves. Get ready to discover a new way to understand yourself through the magic of numbers.
And I welcome you to my channel as we connect the dots on so many ways that life presents, connecting spiritually to a physical, temporal environment where we feel the limitations, but yet also have an expanded arena of faith, hope, love that really adds to the concept of what is life? Who are we? What is a relationship to it all, to each other, to the cosmos, to our environment, from where we are to where we want to go and how we want to be and what we discover about ourselves and what it is all about. Why am I here? What is a purpose? Why am I even doing any of this crazy life? Why do people say it's fun when maybe you're like going, I don't have any clues as to what's going on? Well, today I wanted to talk about numbers. Numerology is quite a study, and I'm not going to get too deep into it, but I will talk about it a bit for those of you who maybe like, why is she always bringing up these numbers on the cards and making statements about them, and I don't understand. So I wanted to share with you a little bit of how I see numbers, because everybody's got numbers and they'll assign meanings, and I just could not make sense of it until I came across this concept, and I'm going to share it with you right now. When you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we're going to start out with something that's similar to just like a easy tic-tac-toe game. And we're going to number each of the boxes. So 1 is like the beginning. It's the one person. It's me, myself, and I. You can see the I in the number 1. And then I visualize that 2 is up here. It's me and another, me and my spouse, me and my business partner, me and someone else, my friend, my child. It's me plus one more. And then 3 is the we. It's me and another as a collective of us. This is where the stories of who we are. What is my life story? I began as a individual. If you look at tarot, you'll see the Fool card here. Just a little juvenile adventurer who meets another person, and maybe they create a family or a tribe or a collective of other souls who are telling a story and protecting the story or protecting the tribe or adventuring even more into what it means to be us, we of all of us together. And as we connect with another, we might want to create a family, which means we would come down here to 4, which is very much about a foundation. 4 has the 4 points. If you build a home, if you have a community where it's very stable and the structures are all part of the elements of trust with each other, there's a home to come home to. This is here. It could be the traditions of the community, the family, the small town. I see this as small ecosystems. It could be the family. It could be a small town, small business would be a number 4. Number 5. 5 is info central. 5 has access to this box. It's like all the boxes can connect to a number 5. 5 can get crazy, but 5 is like the best networker ever. Mothers are a lot of times having to do all the things, doing the shopping, doing the cooking, doing the cleaning, doing the helping with the homework, fixing things for people, putting on events, and moms are a lot of times great examples of number fives. They just can do it all. If you have a problem, mom will probably help you out and be able to have an answer for you. A lot of crazy information can come into Info Central, and it can get really busy really fast. So that's why when number fives come up, we all know that hold on to your hats, try to be patient, and manage as best you can, because it can get nutsy. 6 is very much the nurturing number to me. It is the number of service. It is the higher education, serving the greater good. The 3s can be the warriors as well, the ones who are up on the podiums in the Olympics. The individual has a story and he's winning or losing, right? And there is that story that goes on. I see up here in the 3 that a lot of times that's where our arts people are at. They are telling our stories. The directors and the authors and the singers, they are on stage. They're up in the higher vistas where we see them. And this is where we're really more in the quiet relationships at home, and here is very much our most intimate level. And 6 being where the firefighters, the police, the colleges, the educators, those who are serving for the highest good of all are a lot of times in the 6 life paths. And so when you're looking at life paths, you might see that kind of coming through too, where number 3s are very much our storytellers and our authors and show people, the people who we put on stage. They're the ones that are showing us what our collective stories are telling us about ourselves. And then the 6 is really talking more about how we serve each other, the professions that expand upon the needs of the very grounded people. Life path 4s, they have their families, they have their small communities, but up here, these are the people who are doing the protection and the education. The medical people would be up in this arena as well, because they are nurturing, they're caring and protecting the communities. So this is more the individual, this is more of a community. And then down here, 7 is a cosmic number, it's a spiritual number. It's where the hermits are, in my mind. This is also the quieter people who see the seasons and cycles. They're the researchers. There are the spiritual seekers. They have the ability to do law or notice what's going on with the stars or history. They see the seasons and the cycles of how things go, and they are really deeply researching and developing. 8 is what goes around comes around, and the collective collecting all the goodness that all the others are offering, and they are the ones, the government, the institutions, the power forces, the bigger collections of smaller cities and towns collected into the greater institutional, governmental arenas, where now we've got a larger collective where we can collect taxes and do even more research, do more nurturing. And it's all coming from the needs of families and individuals that gives reasons for us to have educational systems, medical infrastructure systems for our cities and towns, professions for serving and protecting, educating, and healing for the larger collective. More intimate down here, a little bit more in the how we connect together and see all of the needs. And then here is where we actually put together a plan, a system. This is the systems of how what goes around comes around. So all the taxes and all the education and all the good things come around to benefit all that are concerned. Number 9. 9 is very much the soul, humanitarian, the ones who can see that this just gets really selfish to their eyes. Just one man for himself and being an island to yourself when we have so many needs together. Number 9s a lot of times are deemed to be older souls who have gone through all of the it's all about me, it's me and another, how do I do that relationship well, how do I do relationships, what is the story that we're telling of what the meaning, how these relationships, what is my story, what is our story, it's all in there. And then when we decide that we are a we now, we want to nurture and create a home nest, and from there we find that there's a lot of needs. Our little ones need us, and we need more services from our communities. And wouldn't it be nice if we had more services? And then researchers working and experimenting and creating and giving us more understanding of what all this is about. So 9s are at the top of the soul path if you wanted to go linearly. However, what's interesting, Tesla said that 3, 6, and 9 are not numbers that you see in nature. So they are highly spiritual numbers, and these are more earthly oriented numbers. So 2, 5, 8, like I said, this is a little bit more caring, the partnering, how do we get along together and become more than just the sum of one. This is the story of us. This is the story of who we are in a home and community level. And this is more, how are we more expansive? Where do we fit in the cosmos? How do we govern ourselves so that we are creating a better environment for one and all? And is there more that we can see and do to better the human experiences? That's a Soul Path 9. I just love when we have our advocates for taking care of Mother Earth and making sure that everyone is included, not just the select elites or the select few. We look at all of the cultures being enriching us in all these ways. How do they teach and bring nurturing and care to their communities? How do they do that? Well, what can we learn from each of these numbers? And I just find this helps me to understand when we're looking at our numbers, this is really more about me in my family and me in the cosmos. 2 is about me expanding my relationships. How do I network? How do I find solutions to my issues, problems? How do I get creative with what I need? And then up here is more on the spiritual. In a nutshell, this is how I see numbers. And then we talk a lot about the up-leveling. That brings us back to, it's like it all circles back around. So now a 1 can be a 10. That is a very basic understanding of how to look at numbers, numerology, and find it a little easier to understand. Oh, if it's a 1, 4, or 7, that's really more of the bottom line, very grounded. How does the system work? Where am I? Who am I? What am I? Where is my community? And what is my world all about? When you're in the middle section, it's more about the relationships you have with all of this. And then when you're up here is, what are we doing with it? How are we expanding upon it? How are we finding our soul purposes and our soul responsibilities in this life? How do we make a difference? How do we make a difference in all of this? That's what I see as that answers that by the upper levels of thought, heart, ingenuity, implementing for the greater, highest good for one and all. I hope that helps you. It has helped me, and I would love your thoughts on what you know about numerology. It's quite a study. I love numerology. I found that this just makes a lot of sense, and I see even more. In fact, it's incorporated into the Soul Life Treasure Hunt as well. How this system fits onto this system makes perfect sense to me, and I'd love to share more of that with you. Have a great day. Until next time, love your life. Love it all. Enjoy, and namaste.